Okay, we're live. Thank you all for joining me tonight, the Cinephile World Order. And tonight is the 45th anniversary for Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead. So that's what we're going to be watching here tonight. And yeah, I know this is a movie we did earlier in the year, but I deleted that one. Figured we'd do it over again, do it properly on its 45th anniversary. So, but yeah, we did do Zombie. Did Fulci Zombie back in the beginning of July there, but slowly going to get around to the rest of those. But yeah, City of the Living Dead, 45 years old today. So yeah, released on this day 45 years ago in Italy. But yeah, this movie is just, man, everything about it. From, you can even say, like, I know there is plot holes in this here and there, but you watch this enough times, you can really fill those in on your own, if you're creative enough with that. But yeah, just a very gothic zombie movie overall. Between the even the style of the music throughout it too, just that very doomful sound going throughout that theme music throughout it. But yeah, just a very graphic film on top of that, and I always enjoy going back and watching this one. So, but yeah, we got the Internet Archive link is pinned at the top there. I believe this movie's like an hour 33 minutes. So yeah, we should be here for like 2 hours tonight. We'll probably get this started in like the next 20 minutes or so, something like that. But yeah, it looks like the channel is officially at 450 subscribers now. So 50 more and I'll be at that 500 mark. I think 500 subs, like that's when you're officially open to like being monetized or whatever. But that's the last thing I'm worried about, making money off YouTube. Like, get the fuck out of here. I don't know how people do that shit. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to the chat here. We'll see who's here. Got a couple people down here. Yeah, we got Greg Brewers here. What's up, Greg? Hey, all. Hope all is well. Yeah, everything's going good. Yeah, sorry for the delay there, but I don't know. I had to restart the phone. I mean, I got T-Mobile now, but ever since I've gotten this new cell phone and everything with T-Mobile, it's been a nightmare, man. Like, every time I want to use my phone, I have to like go to the Wi-Fi connection, shut the Wi-Fi off. A couple minutes later, it doesn't work anymore. Turn the Wi-Fi back on. What the fuck? But we got George is here too, the Sailor Outlaw. What's up there, George? Yo, everyone. Hello, Sean. Got Anthony Chobits here too. Yo, buddy, I work today. 2 more weeks until his 42nd birthday. That sounds good, man. Sounds good. So Anthony's going to the theater tomorrow. Gonna go see the new Freaky Friday, or Freakier Friday, that's what they're calling it. I know it's like the original movie's been on the TV. It's like popping up all over the fucking TV. So, but I can't really say that I ever like actually been a fan of that movie. So I mean, I know I've seen it before. It's been many years since I've seen it though, the original one. But yeah, I actually went out today and the Halloween decorations are finally getting put up and everything. And I bought this skull and skeleton hand set where you can actually mount this on your wall. I picked this up today. See how this works out. We're getting this thing on the wall. It seems, as they give you these childish directions here on the back, it seems pretty simple. But yeah, this was actually marked down $12 from $20 to $12. Or no, actually $7.99. I paid $7.99. It's cheaper than I thought. Yeah, it's the start of many things to buy with the spooky season coming around the corner. I'm just waiting for the pumpkin beer, honestly. I want some pumpkin beer so bad. I see we have Sue is here from the Bud Files. Hey, what's up there, Sue? Thanks for stopping by. Hope all is well with you. But yeah, other than that, yeah, I think the next stream we're gonna take a couple days off after this one. We'll just wait until the 40th anniversary for Return of the Living Dead, which will be on the 15th. I think that's this Saturday, Friday or Saturday, something like that. But yeah, and then I think sometime after that is when I'll see where I can put the Cannibal Holocaust stream back into the schedule there for this month. But yeah, so after tonight, we'll just take a couple of days off until the 15th. That's when we'll stream again for the 40th anniversary for Return of the Living Dead, and then yeah, we'll get Cannibal Holocaust, From Dusk Till Dawn, No Country for Old Men. Probably get something else in there too. We'll see. See how the rest of the month plays out. But yeah, just we got less than 100 days until Halloween, so this is really the best time of year in my opinion. But I mean, the only see tomorrow's a shitty day for me because tomorrow's the anniversary of my brother's death. That's why it's always like it's. I don't really focus on it, but like it's always like if I'm around my parents, then it's like they they dwell on that shit a little bit more than I do. So that's why the 12th of August is just not a good day for me. But apparently the Yankees won. I know the Yankees they haven't been playing too good lately. I think Boston even got in front of them in the standings. So Yankees need to pick it up if they want to get serious or want to get serious and make the postseason. But I guess that'll be a tight one there, right down to the wire. We'll see. Like as of right now, looking at the standings, there's really like no like neck and neck tight race going on. I know the Mets are screwing up too, but yeah, it's the more than likely the Phillies are going to win the division, which I would rather them not. But both New York teams could end up missing the playoffs. The Mets and the Yankees could. Now, if that happens, though, geez, Christ. I think the Mets had the highest payroll in the league, so. But yeah, it's all good, Greg. Yeah, it's I don't know. What's it? That'll be 2019. That'll be like 6 years, 7 years, 6 or 7 years since he's passed away. But it's you just learn to live with it. What can you do? Anthony's saying Wednesday's a month since I forget her name again, that person that passed away or whatever. But yeah, we all got to deal with shit like that at some point in our lives, right? It's the natural process of things. But yeah, so I don't know. This will probably be a thin one here again tonight. But I'm assuming Greg will probably be joining in with me. I don't know who else will. Maybe someone else will show up here in a little bit or something, but it doesn't really matter. But overall, I guess like out of like, like what is the original movies that are supposed to be in this trilogy? What is it? The Beyond, Zombie, and City of the Living Dead? Is it those three? I don't think House by the Cemetery is attached to it. I don't know. I kind of forget. I wouldn't say that I'm like the most knowledgeable person with Italian horror, but I know like I don't know. I guess you could say I know enough there, like the standard basic shit, really. But I don't know everything about Fulci, that's for sure. I haven't seen all of his films. I've seen a lot of his films, but I haven't seen all of them. And I got to say, like a lot of his movies outside of like his zombie films, he's got some other good ones, like I would consider watchable, but I just think this is his best work, though. Between Zombie, The Beyond, City of the Living Dead, even House by the Cemetery, I think these are his best films. Like another one that's barely ever gets talked about. That's very underrated from 1981 is The Black Cat. Another real good one here, actually. Very atmospheric too. On top of that, it's got a real like gothic feel to it, kind of like how this one is that we're watching here tonight. But yeah, if no one's ever seen Fulci's 1981, The Black Cat, definitely would recommend getting on that. Yeah, I don't know if that would make for a good watch party per se, but I mean, I could have a good time with that, doing a stream for it or something. But just trying to look up the Gates of Hell trilogy to get my info correct here. But I mean, out of like those movies that I just mentioned, though, like as I said, and this when we did the watch party for Zombie, that's my favorite film from Fulci is his 1979 movie Zombie. That's the one I really enjoy the most. But this one too is like really definitely has its moments. I mean, even get a fucking weird, awkward situation with a blow up doll in this fucking movie. Somehow, Fulci managed to get a fucking inappropriate scene with a fucking blow up doll in this movie. But yeah, it's I don't it's actually that one scene that really gets me the most in this is the scene when the girl that apparently she died during the seance and she's getting buried and she's getting ready to get buried alive. Like that scene always freaks me the fuck out, man. Just does every time I get to that. But I mean, I have a fear of being buried alive as it is. So just the way that whole scene is executed and the way it plays out just fucks with me all the time. But all right, so the film they're definitely in this trilogy here. Why am I getting pictures from them? So yeah, basically is everything besides the house by the cemetery. But I mean, you could include that too, I guess. But yeah, really, I think those are his best films. But I mean, Greg, I know you're down there in the chat. I'm sure you're probably well familiar with Fulci's work. What would you say is your favorite film? Just let me know down in the chat which one you would prefer the most. One that I've only seen one time so far. It hasn't been until recently. What the fuck is it? Oh, I had it. Guess I don't. Is Don't Torture a Duckling. I finally picked up that one probably like a year ago at this point. The Arrow Video Blu-ray. I know that's been upgraded to 4K by now, but yeah, I finally got that one in the collection and gave that one a watch. And yeah, I'm definitely a fan of that one. I prefer that one a little bit more over New York Ripper. I don't know. It seems like a lot of people really do like New York Ripper. I do enjoy the movie, but that duck voice really gets to me by the movie. It can be exhausting to hear that sometimes, but I don't. Some people enjoy it. I guess they can overlook it, but to me, I get a little annoyed with it sometimes. But yeah, I still like New York Ripper though. That's for sure. So Greg's saying he prefers the Beyond. The Beyond's so fucking good. So it really is. It's another one that's got its occasional plot holes in it, but I feel like those plot holes that do occasionally pop up in Italian horror films, though, like you watch enough movies like that, you can just, kind of like fill in the plot holes on your own, make up your own kind of like, imaginary fun with it, whatever makes sense to you to fill those holes, I guess. But I mean, I'm looking at the menu right now because I got the Blue Underground Blu-ray. I still haven't upgraded this one. I think Cauldron released 4K of this. I was really hoping for Blue Underground to release one of those like lenticular slipcover limited edition sets of this, but I guess Blue Underground doesn't have the rights to this anymore. I don't know. They haven't released anything for this movie since that Blu-ray, like early 2010, something like that. But yeah. Still got to figure out what we're going to be watching for the month of October besides what's already put in place. I know we'll be watching Lamberto Bava's Demons, Stuart Gordon's Reanimator, Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead. I know those three are in there. I'm going to get something else in there too. I was thinking of maybe scheduling Flesh for Frankenstein. I think that one could work out pretty well, but I don't know. I really enjoy that one, man. That's definitely nasty. I enjoy watching. Shamarlos is here. Hey, what's up there, Scott? Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. Hey, man, you love corn dogs, don't you, man? You're always talking about eating corn dogs. I'm not a corn dogger. I don't get down with the corn dogs. Scott's watching Tales from the Dark Side. Definitely one of the better horror anthologies from that time period. You know what's a good, more newer anthology I would recommend? No one's seen this. This is a Shudder original, but the Mortuary Collection. This one came out in 2019. I definitely recommend giving that one a watch. And it has Clancy Brown in it, the actor from Shawshank Redemption. But I was really surprised with this one. That's another one that is you should be able to go on Internet Archive and just type it in the search bar and it should pop up right away. That's on there. I believe it's actually on YouTube too. But yeah, if you're in the horror anthologies and you're looking for something new there, I would definitely recommend giving that one a watch. Greg's saying, I like corn dogs. I can't eat too much deep fried food. I kind of feel like that. Like, I mean, I haven't had fried chicken in a long ass time. Not that like I always want to eat fried chicken or something, but yeah, I think as far as fried foods, yeah, like even French fries, I try not to like stuff myself on. But I know like when I do too much fried food, I get like super dehydrated, tired, and just feel like shit. But all right, so we're coming up on 18 minutes here. I'm gonna go ahead and get a drink real quick. So yeah, we're gonna get this started real soon in like a minute or two. So if you guys want to go ahead, whoever's joining in, you want to get yourselves situated and ready, get yourselves ready to go here. You go ahead and do that now. I'm gonna go grab a drink and we'll get things going. Okay. Setting everything up right now. We'll get this going here shortly. Oh, shit. All right. All right. All right. Yeah, so whoever's joining in, you guys are ready now. We'll do a 10-1. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play, you motherfuckers. Right away, you get that doom, world-ending music. Dun, dun. Yeah, I remember my video store did not have the rent. I know they used to have House by the Cemetery and Zombie, but they never, my video store never had this one. So I remember the first time I saw this was about sometime in high school. But I remember first time like seeing it again after that is when I bought the Blue Underground DVD, like back in like probably like 2007, something like that. I don't know what other anime. I think another one that's 40 years old this month is Teen Wolf. You guys remember Teen Wolf, right? 1985, Michael J. Fox. I think that's another one that's 40 years old this year. I mean, this month. The soul that pines for eternity shall outspan death. Went off the screen. I was trying to read that tombstone there. As we see this creepy ass priest just roaming around the cemetery lot right now. As he envisions his own death. Well, we're moving into the seance here. New York. It's supposed to be Italy, though, right? But no, they filmed in New York. But this opening seance is a bit intense, really. So I forget what's her name. That's the Beyond. That's Eliza, that blind girl. I forget the names in these movies. Oh, apparently there's contact with evil. And now they're seeing the priest. The news he's gonna get ready to hang himself. You had to think about it for a second there before you tighten that news. Yes. Greg is saying, I think Zombie was the first Fulci film he saw, and then The Beyond. I think it might have been Zombie. I can't really recall exactly. But yeah, we do get a corpse coming out of the ground here, which is pretty cool. I usually forget about this part. But yeah, this corpse is completely covered in the exposure of the atmosphere. It's covered in leaves and shit. Don't break it. Don't break the link. It's critical for Mary's life if you break the link. She just keels over in the chair, falls over her, starts screaming and yelling, and just apparently dies for no reason. The soul that pines for eternity shall outspan death, a dweller of the twilight void come Dunwich. That's what that tombstone says. Got every evil being screaming and yelling there. That cemetery. Mary's dead. I'm afraid Mary's dead. The lesson to be learned here, guys. No seances, you know. Break the link and get too intense. You can kill someone. Anthony's saying your videos help me with my sadness. That's cool to hear, Anthony. Yeah, it's YouTube's definitely supposed to be a place, where you can just kind of relax, right? Kind of decompress, get away from problems, even though sometimes being on here is a problem. So, your story is a little tough to. So this black detective that shows up wants answers of why this random this lady Mary died during a seance. And it looks like everyone that's involved in this seance has some kind of like bad criminal background that the detective's holding against these people right now. Okay, fellas. So yeah, apparently she died of sheer fright during the seance. And this is where the fucking detective flips out. What you guys on coke? Grass? Where's the stash at? Down the toilet? All dubbed, of course, too. That's another thing. All hilariously dubbed. What's it again? Book of Enoch. Yeah. I gotta get me one of those books of the Enoch. Years, right? I would find such unusual paradox. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate it. The explanation in every detail of a crime before it's been committed. Lady, you're either grass or you. So now the detective's accusing this other lady of being high on grass, though. I'll help you just the same. In the Book of Enoch, the killer is. Giant fucking ball of fire and shoots out in the room. How do you explain that one? The detective's not any more convinced either, so. I know, I'd be like, oh, I'm getting the fuck out of here. It'd be funny though, if like, because he's like the only black guy there. He's like, y'all crackers is crazy with all this evil shit. I'm getting the fuck out of here. Kind of reminds me of the you guys ever see that movie Mausoleum with the housemaid, the black housemaid? At one point there's like a bunch of like green like smoke going through the house, and the lady's like, there's some crazy shit going on in this house. I'm gonna get me the fuck out of here now. That's another good one there. Actually get some demon tits in that one. Green demon tits. Yes. And now we're moving on to our probably our most hated character in the movie, Bob, right? This creepy weirdo. Apparently he's like a pedophile too. He's like the town pedophile. Walks around with a fucking blow-up doll. Greg saying, you think they'll ever do false films or leave them alone? I think you might see at least one. Like someone might do it someday, you know. Americanized like one of his movies, I guess. I think somebody will eventually, but I don't think all of his movies will. But I could see something like like this one or The Beyond or Zombie being remade, getting like a retelling or whatever. But yeah, apparently this weirdo Bob lives in this abandoned fucking random like villa, out in the middle of nowhere. And he stuffs all of his blow up dolls inside the fireplace, from the looks of things. And he's got it fully blown up now. He's about to make out with it. I wonder if like, a scene like this is like, like they were already filming, but like a couple days later, like, oh, I found a blow up doll. Like we can incorporate that into the movie, right? No, you get this fucking creepy looking, fleshy looking fetus on the floor here. All I know is there's definitely real worms in that thing. Jesus Christ. I mean, it's probably, I don't know what the fuck that is. It's probably like the exoskeleton of like a doll or something, and they covered it in like ground meat and worms. Clay, for you. On people, you see him with the New York Times. You're a newspaper reporter, right? I can smell you guys a mile away. The reporter's coming into the movie. What the fuck's his name again? Christopher George, I think. The actor. The actor who's playing the reporter here. I think his name's Christopher George. Is there a way that someone's agreement? Talking into my deaf ear, pal. You're talking into my deaf ear, pal. Hey, I'm walking here. Like the only time in the movie right now, well, at least so far, where not bad dubbing. But yeah, I guess at this point, ever since that seance took place and was executed, and it's like the tale curse. So almost in every scene, you're gonna see like it's gonna look like a fucking Western dust ball going on. It's just like nothing but heavy winds and everything. Bad weather's kicking up, for the cursed town. It's like the worst bar in the history of movies. Not when I hang out at this fucking shitty bar. And then the mirror just randomly breaks. Which breaks up the important conversation these guys were having. You know something? Ever since Father Thomas hanged himself. Oh, blame it on the priest that hung himself. That's why your mirror is broken. Start seeing ghouls and devils all over. A few beers in, you fools start seeing ghouls and devils all over the place. Anyway, I wrote my mirror. Forget who our ancestors were. No, I forgot how many beers we drank. So let's have another house pie. And Greg saying, would have been interesting if Fulci and Romero collaborated together and made a zombie film. Yeah. Or even, Romero to work with like Argento or something. But I mean, like, like overall, it just like, like since that's like topic right now. We're just like, on right now. But it's it's between like, Romero and how he did his movies and everything. It's just a complete different style compared to, how the Italians do it and everything. I still don't understand how a lot of these like Italian filmmakers and actors and how they film a scene and you'll have one person that's speaking English to the person and the other person speaking Italian to that person. It's like, how the fuck do you guys know what the hell you're saying to each other? Like, I don't know. But apparently too, with a lot of like those Italian filmmakers, like even like when they're rolling camera, like they don't care if like there's other people talking like on set. Like you're allowed to just make as much noise as you want. Compared to like Hollywood and shit. Once you yell that action, like everyone shuts up and time to roll the camera and be quiet.
So early. I thought we made it for it.
The trouble, I can't make it tonight. I have to see Bob. You're not upset, are you?
I'm not upset.
Then we get this weird kind of insinuated incest or inappropriate relationship with this professor here and this young schoolgirl. Apparently, these two are going to be seeing each other later on tonight, doing God knows what that they don't want to talk about in front of this other female.
Here in Dunwich, anybody like that is also branded a witch. Look, Sandra, I don't believe those idiots who tell me that our ancestors were Salem witchmen, all right? Okay.
Kind of funny to see that, the whole Salem witch dilemma is still rolling over into the present time into this movie. Apparently, the town and the locals are all arguing with each other over whose ancestors was a Salem witch.
And the same old problem, men.
What is this guy? Is this guy like a shrink, I guess? It's like a professor or a shrink? I don't know.
Sure. It's the first time you ever mentioned it.
Yeah, a bunch of noise started. Yeah, a bunch of noise started popping off. Freaked out the cat for some reason. More unexplained things in an Italian horror movie. So. Now we're at the cemetery scene. These two fucking confident grave diggers. And of course, the one guy with the blonde hair, he's one of the actors in Cannibal Holocaust. And, it's so funny that, because apparently, like, those actors, when they signed on for that movie with Cannibal Holocaust, they had to sign a contract saying that they were not to show up in any movies for at least a year because the whole thing was going with the Cannibal Holocaust that, like, these actors got killed and everything. They were eaten by cannibals. So they didn't want them popping up in any other movies anytime soon. But it's so weird because this is another 1980 movie. So this guy, like, definitely breached his contract. And, like, this guy's also in Cannibal Ferox, too, this guy with the blonde hair. I don't know. If I was a grave digger, I want to be eating my lunch right there at the fucking site, the grave site. Like, yeah, the guy with the blonde hair said Nick Nolte or Chuck Norris. But yeah, Mary's about to be married, laid to rest. Apparently, she's a fucking Jedi. She's just sleeping right now. And apparently, Christopher George is very big. Like the actor, he's very big on having a cigar in his mouth in movies. And apparently, like he's even gone as far as like had directors tell him, like, can you take that cigar out of your mouth? Like, if I can't have the cigar, I'm not in the movie. I'm not doing the movie. Like, damn, dude. Really need a cigar that bad?
Ooh,
I don't really see many black coffins. At least I don't. I don't really see many black coffins. Sometimes, I guess you will, but it's always some kind of like cherry wood color or something. But yeah, they're lowering that coffin down there. Like, it's the only thing I find weird is like, soon as the clock hits 5 o'clock, these guys like, well, that's it for the day. Just leave all the tools out here in this random coffin that hasn't been buried yet because it's 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock somewhere, right? So now you can see that she's starting to breathe inside that coffin now. And now they're pouring some of the dirt on. And we have Mike is here from Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection. What's up, Mike? Thanks for stopping by. How far are we into this now? I'm coming up on 21 minutes soon. But yeah, good to see you here. Hope all is well with you, Mike. Greg saying, damn, I missed Jaws versus Thunder Lips last night. That was fun watching that last night. Such a ridiculous movie. Especially even the practical shark and how like the eyes are so small. So I don't know what that person or whoever created that practical shark, what the fuck they were thinking with that. Shit. What's another good one? The Roger Corman one is that Humanoids from the Deep. Just started thinking of that one. Another one from the 80s. Another fun one. You got fishmen coming out of the water and raping women, trying to impregnate human women. The movie's not even that long either. I think it's like an hour, 20 minutes, but that's a fun one. So now, yeah, the two grave diggers have called it a day because it's 5 o'clock. But the journalist, the newspaper, the reporter here, Christopher George, he's starting to hear a banging, and then he starts to hear a couple faint screams. So he's starting to hear that Mary is banging her way out of that coffin right now. But he can't tell if that's exactly what he can hear either. I think this is actually the same graveyard they probably used in The Godfather. I think it looks so similar to it. And you can see her fucking fingernails are getting all scraped up and pulled back. She's scratching her way out of that. I hate fingernails getting ripped off, man. Yeah. It's so sensitive. Like, I could take like someone's eye being like gouged out of their head, even burned out of their head. Like, I would give me anything happening to an eyeball, but a fingernail getting ripped off. I'm like, oh god. Like, I don't know if you guys ever ripped a fingernail off before. I've done it. Fucking shit hurts, man. And then they like grow the next nail after that too. That whole process. Jesus Christ. Don't lose your nails, folks. Now she lets out one last scream as he walks closer to the gravesite there. And now he's convinced there's someone definitely inside that coffin. So he ends up taking some of the equipment from the grave diggers there. He's just going to start ripping a hole through that coffin. Coming inches from her eyeballs, too, man. Almost fucking impaling her with that shit. Of course, Christopher George is wearing Doesn't even look like it's cold out in the movie. He's got this heavy corduroy fucking jacket on. Ugly, like tan-colored corduroy jacket. And he finally pries open a hole there. She's screaming. Such a bizarre fucking sequence in a movie, especially a horror movie.
Everyone's terribly dead. Just working.
Yeah, right, Greg. That's what they probably should have called that there. Cruelly done Jaws.
Take man's first recorded description of his.
And all right, we have a new subscriber here. I don't know how I'm gonna say that name without butchering that one, but El Rinson? It's El Rincon. Del Perengo. Just gonna say hello to you there. I'm not gonna try to butcher that name anymore. But hello, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. Hey everybody, new subscriber here. City of the Living Dead. I think it is one of Fulci's most brutal films. Yeah, it really is. It really. Yeah, I mean, like even like what you see what happens to like the little boy's family, like his sister dies and then like his parents are all like going through the grieving process. They end up dying and becoming zombies. His whole family just gets transformed into zombies. But I really do enjoy the gothic kind of feel this movie has. Calling it like City of the Living Dead, I know it has that alternate title of Gates of Hell, which I think is probably better for the movie. I think it suits it a little bit better with Gates of Hell. Because like City of the Living Dead, you would expect like, at least like, hordes, like thousands upon thousands of zombies. We obviously don't get that really like on screen in this movie, but you get enough shots throughout it to realize that you're in like residential row home neighborhoods and everything. You're in the city. But, Fulci definitely, handles that pretty well with this movie. I mean, besides like, occasional plot holes and stuff, besides stuff like that, I think he fills everything out nicely in this movie. You get good amount of fucking gory deaths in this too. Plenty of zoom in shots too. It's another thing he likes to do. But now we're moving on to Bob, inappropriate Bob, and his only fucking friend. For some reason, this girl sees some value in Bob, him and his blow up doll bullshit. Apparently, Bob's going through it, man. I don't know. I love how his ghetto setup here. He's got like random like Playboy fucking girls on the wall and stuff. So it looks like the priest who killed himself is coming for Bob. And after all that shit that girl has done for you, Bob, you turn your back on her here. Now the priest is gonna claim a victim. Definitely gonna smush some earthly worms into her face. What could probably be jelly. It kind of looks purple. I know it's supposed to be like some gooey flesh and stuff. He just like shoved into her face, but it's probably just grape jelly and worms. I know that scene that's later on in the movie, like they're all in like this room and the window opens up and all these maggots come flying in. Apparently, it's a mix between cereal and maggots. So, but yeah, apparently the actors too, definitely think more than a couple of them were complaining about getting a mouthful of maggots in that scene.
Paul should be at the studio for at least another hour. So, goodbye, Mr. Robbins. Goodbye.
All right, so maybe that'll help me pronounce this name a bit more. So he's like, you can say Pilgrim's Corner. Okay, all right, yeah, I can say Pilgrim's Corner. Yeah. All right, so all right, that clears it up. Thank you, though. It makes things a lot easier. I don't know. I'm just, I only know what I know. So, but we're coming up to the scene now with the other Italian horror director who's in this, Michael Suave. Him and his girlfriend are making out in the car here. This is where she gets that eerie sense that they're being spied on by someone. You don't really believe in that Salem witch stuff, do you? Like, what if she said, yeah, I do believe in that shit? Wait, what are you going to do now? What, are you not going to fucking eat me out now? Like, something like that. That's the same girl, too, in The House by the Cemetery. It gets the fucking knife through the back of her head and it comes out of her mouth. I love that kill in that movie. That's like the opening kill, I think. And Greg is saying, I bent half of a finger backwards. My basketball. Oh, you hyperextended that shit. Fuck. Yeah, he said, yeah, I had to clip it. Took 3 months to grow it back. Fuck, do you see? That's, yeah. I've lost a pinky nail before. I've lost an index fingernail before, too. And yeah, months for that shit to grow back. And you gotta, like, also, like, oh, like, dude, I remember, like, most of the time I like, had to wear, like, Band-Aids over it and shit. But yeah, that sounds rough, right? Like, yeah, hyperextending things is never good, right? Things the way that they're not supposed to bend, that's just good, right? But yeah, the creepy priest has showed up. He wants to watch two teenagers make out. So now we're on the iconic scene here of this girl crying blood, which is obviously being done from the priest. The priest has got his, he's got his claws into this girl right now. And now she's slowly starting to spit up some foam. So basically, he's going to make her turn inside out. He's making her throw up all of her guts. Now, another thing is for them to execute this scene, they actually used real animal guts. This is real animal guts coming out of someone's mouth. Now, the zoomed in shots, that's actually a practical face. That's like they molded her face. So like the on her mouth, that's all the practical stuff. You see, when you see her face and all like it's coming out, that's the real actress spitting out cleaned up animal guts. So apparently, like, they actually paid someone, found someone willing to put animal guts in their mouth and spit them out. Now the priest goes and smashes this dude's head, calls it a night. Claim 2 victims for the priest. That's a good night for the priest.
That's not the point. It's going to be harder to find, that's all.
Now Mary's all like she's like a fucking hot shot now because she cheated death, came back from the grave. You're calling the shots here with Christopher George. But yeah, I agree. The alternate title works better. Yeah, Gates of Hell title definitely works way better. No, actually, I do. Man, I pulled it out earlier, and I realized it doesn't fit me anymore because, like, I wear a large, but apparently I used to wear a large. And I have an old. Here it is. I have an old Gates of Hell T-shirt from like years ago, but apparently it's too small now. Like, way too small on me. But this is it right here. I got. Yeah, that's it right there. But yeah, the shirt is too small now. It's a large, and I don't wear larges. They're too small. And I see we have Alex is here from Movie Odyssey TV. What's up, Alex? Thanks for stopping by. All is well here. Hopefully everything's good with you too. There goes Fulci's cameo in the movie. You know, he's in this movie for like barely a minute and a half. I think he's a detective inspector, something like that. So now Bob, you know, the town weirdo, the pedophile, he's being blamed for the death of what's her name? Her name Alice, I think. Ridiculousness. There goes that pile of fucking shitty flesh and worms and shit.
That kid's gonna fry.
I blame that pile of flesh and worms on the ground too on Bob. So that kid's gonna fry.
Your newspaper editor wouldn't believe you.
Adrian De Niro told me about it 2 years ago. Buried alive. I didn't believe him either. I mean, I laughed right in his face.
De Niro was aware of many things.
Oh, that's cool, Greg. Yeah, Greg. So, Greg, I gotta check that channel. Maybe I can subscribe to that channel right now from this other device. But yeah, I'm gonna type in Pilgrim's Corner and see if I can make sure I'm subscribed to that.
Priest. By hanging himself, opened the gates of hell. He must be destroyed. Her baby. I think it's not.
This way.
Yes, I am subscribed. Okay. I think I am. Wait, double check that. Apparently, I am subscribed to the actual Pilgrim's Corner channel. Huh. We'll get it figured out here. I can't do that from here. See, Corner saying, thanks, Greg. Let me look for you and I will subscribe to yours. You know what? I'm gonna put his channel link down there in the chat. I'll put Greg's channel link there if you can't find it. Oh, we're at the creepy fucking coroner scene here in the funeral home. This guy's a fucking creeper, though. This guy's loves stealing off of dead people. It's like stealing like gold teeth out of their mouths and like necklaces and bracelets and shit. A lot of coffins in this movie. I mean, it's, you know, obviously they're at a funeral home, but it's like, what do they get a good deal on coffins and stuff? Like, coffins are expensive as fuck, man.
Because Louis Calvin and Tommy Fisher disappeared too. They went to the movies last night and nobody's seen them.
Same two guys at the bar.
48 hours. I think it's fun.
5 people have disappeared in the last 48 hours.
Maybe you're right.
Yeah, but at least 2 of them are confirmed dead already, though.
A miracle we found him in time. Yeah, well, I say it's him. He's the one causing all the trouble around here.
Griggs.
God only knows what he did to poor Emily. All I know is the Aaron Dunnage is getting awful thick. As soon as I get
All I know is the Aaron Dunwich is getting awful thick. Now you got these grieving parents. John, his older sister's dead now. So that happens when you hang out with inappropriate people like Bob, I guess, right? I guess she probably just looked at the whole thing with the blow up doll as, it's just Bob's misunderstood. You guys just don't get him. And I see Russell's here. I'll get back to the chat in a second. I'm gonna put Greg's channel link down the stream here. So now, yeah, Bob is aware that, the whole town is ready to, or I mean, the whole town's like on the lookout for. It looks like the priest is catching up with him now too. So basically, like the whole thing with like the priest killing himself, apparently just that act alone with him hanging himself is the reason why the gates have been officially opened and has fully cursed the town of Dunwich. So like that is why everything is led up to what we're at in the movie and everything so far. All right, there goes Greg's channel down there. That link I just posted is Greg's channel, but yeah, we got Russell's here. Russell Collier, Sonny Barger. What's up there, Russell? Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully all is well with you. Current timestamp on my end. I'm coming up on 41 minutes exactly where I'm at.
Who's upset? According to your theory, we have less than 48 hours before this All Saints Day.
Yeah, 48 hours. It's going to be the official All Saints Day, which is Dunwich does not need that to happen, right? In this movie. So now this creep is gonna stick his hand in the coffin, try and steal some jewelry. This dude's fucking slithering snake. This guy is. The guy even looks creepy too. His face is all sunken in. You might be able to question if this guy's a zombie or not. Oh, hell, he is. He looks like he stuck his hand in the wrong coffin there. He's got his finger bit off by the old lady. The dead old lady just bit off his finger. Guess it's time to look for a new job there, you creep. Pilgrim's Corner saying, I had my nails removed several times with anesthesia, and even like that, it hurt like hell. So having that in the movie is squeamish material. I'm like, fucking God, dude. You said nails, like multiple nails removed? Jesus Christ. I'd be like, what, take my hand too. Like, just take my fucking hands too. Fingernails are sensitive, man. I just, ugh. So yeah, it looks like it's been a bad day for little John and his family. His older sister has been killed, eaten by zombies. Almost looks like the same little kid from Toby Hooper's The Funhouse. Yeah, it definitely take a while for those things to grow the fuck back. Yeah, I think that shirt was like one of those like gutter garbs or something. I don't know. Let's see if there. No, it doesn't say. I forget where I bought these shirts. I know I bought a House by the Cemetery shirt at Gates of Hell, but they're too small now. They're larges, and I need an extra large. And we got Kenny's here from Kenny's Movie Palace. What's up, Kenny? Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully all is well with you. And yeah, current timestamp is 44 minutes and 35 seconds is where I'm at in the movie. So now as this little boy is trying to, cope with the grief of the recent passing of his sister, he's hearing all this creepy shit outside of his windows. Like how they got like the random jungle stock footage. It's like you're in the city. Why are we hearing like fucking wild animals right now? But he ends up seeing his dead, rotting sister through the window there, and that's her name, Emily. That's right. Oh, Emily's back. She wants to catch me. No one's ever gonna believe the little boy that cries wolf, right? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Pilgrim's Corner. My content is in Spanish, but thanks for subscribing. Yeah, no problem, man. Subs are hard to come by. Doesn't hurt to subscribe to a channel, whether the content is up your alley or whatever. I mean, me personally, like if someone subscribes to me, I just subscribe to them back, whether I know the person or not. I just, it's just the right thing to do. Unless it's like an obvious spam channel, it's the only way I'm not going to subscribe to that shit. I know the same actor that plays Bob in this. I know he's also in Ruggiero Diodato's House on the Edge of the Park. I know he's in that. I know he's in Mikel Suave's Stage Fright. He pops up in that one. He's also in Cannibal Furrock. That actor, I think his name's like Giovanni, one of those Italian names. So, yeah, that's right. Alien Earth in about a half hour, or maybe sometime tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 12th. So, yeah, we are finally going to have Alien Earth unleashed to the world. But yeah, I've seen Russell. Yeah, I've seen the teasers and trailers and everything. But just gonna keep my fingers crossed and hope that it's something worth watching. Hopefully it's good. I'm not too thrilled with the looks of Predator Badlands and all that. Talking predators and just. I'm gonna give that a watch anyway when that comes around, but I'm just not very thrilled with that right now. But I don't know. Hopefully, Alien Earth will be good. Hopefully, it'll be a little bit more, worthy installment of the franchise. We'll see. Now we're coming up to the scene. That's right. Bob's gonna have a gruesome death. Now that I think about that, now I remember. So yeah, he's sleeping in another girl's house, but in the garage, the car that's kept in the garage, which is like her father's car. Yeah, the whole town is after this inappropriate creep, I guess you could say.
Yeah, it's me.
Terrifier 4, The Last Laugh looks good. Is that trailer out now? The fourth Terrifier trailer? Guess that's a bit. I haven't watched that yet.
I don't know. Maybe it proves to be.
Yeah, Russell. Yeah, the effects in this and the other ones really, House by the Cemetery, Zombie, and the Beyond. Effects in all those movies are very, very good. That's for sure.
About 70% of the female population of the country.
Oh, I'm not tolerating that. At least not yet.
Greg is saying, I wish Don Coscarelli could come back doing horror again. Yeah, I know, I mean, like, I really wasn't a fan of Phantasm Ravager.
But it's
I really only like the first 3 Phantasm movies, really, but yeah, wasn't too crazy about Ravager, but I know he, the last time he did something that was, or something that even, like, just had half of my attention was that movie, John Dies at the End. So I thought it was okay, it's good for what it was, especially later work from Coscarelli, but yeah, I know, like when Coscarelli made Phantasm, apparently, like his dad, like coughed up a lot of the money to get that movie up and going. But yeah, Phantasm obviously went on to be a very memorable installment to the horror genre and everything. But yeah, Phantasm was made independently, like really. And I think Coscarelli's dad really didn't even make his money back either from everything he dumped into the movie, just so his son could, get this movie done. I still think the original Phantasm, man, that's a movie that holds up pretty well. Very effective music, too.
it's not a here.
Don Coscarelli also, he did the first episode of Masters of Horror, which is a pretty good story, that short-lived series.
What are you gonna do?
What's it? Masters of Horror lasted like 2 seasons, but for the 2 seasons that it is, I think it's fair to say it's hit or miss, but I think the episodes that really hit are really good ones, though. Pilgrim saying the makeup in this movie, I think it looks good but cheap at the same time. Yeah, I agree with you there. I see what you're saying, but that doesn't mean it's bad. It has its artisanal look that makes it creepy. Right, yeah. The style of the effects is just very appropriate, especially for the time period. So, and that's another thing, even like, with like, a movie like this 45 years later, I think movies like this are still very effective. You take something like this and you put it up against a movie of today's standards and how they make things. It's just, I think movies like this are just not dated yet. They're not outdated. I think these are still very effective movies for what you get out of them. And nowadays, movies are just not made like this anymore. So I get more out of movies like this over, most of the streaming rehash bullshit we get nowadays. I'd rather rewatch a movie like this like 20 times.
Switch every moment. I'll find the reason. I said, "Here we go."
This guy is a terrible doctor. All he does is just repeat the same words and sayings over again. It's like, oh, okay, you got a degree in calming people down. Okay, I get it. Some random ass corpse feet underneath that door there. A creepy old lady with the cotton balls stuffed up her nose. Fucking another random corpse just walking around the city. Dun dun. Dun dun. Love that music. Greg's saying he prefers practical effects to look cheap than to be CGI and look cheap. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I don't even remember that window scene right there. I don't know where you hear like zombies growling and munching on things or whatever, and this window just randomly breaks and all the shards go right into the wall, and there's all this blood coming out of the fucking penetrated holes in the wall from the glass now, which is a pretty cool effect. I bet back then I was probably like, dude, man, like so creative to come up with that. It probably was back then for them, like 45 years ago, making that. I almost feel like this could be like the same neighborhood as like in like The Exorcist in a way. Like some of like the row home blocks and everything kind of look like it could be in like Washington D.C. where they filmed that. I think that's where they filmed that.
The original village of witches and heresy.
The village of witches and heresy and evil.
To go back towards the highway. And as you approach it, there's a road going left, blocked by a landslide. That will take you to Dunwich.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, so now they got their proper directions to Dunwich. You know, this is all way before Google Maps, right?
See. Thanks, Jen.
Pilgrim saying I can love with a mix of both, but there are movies where they use CGI for everything. Yeah. I mean, I think with CGI, obviously it's been a part of movies for so long now. Obviously there's some things that are necessary to use CGI for, especially when it's like going beyond something that you want to do practically, but it just doesn't look good enough. So I think it's like I I think like I'm not a filmmaker by any you know I've had no experience with making films or anything, but I just think if you utilize CGI when it's really necessary, just have a very limited amount of it, using it when you feel like you have to use it, then yeah, but finding that balance of doing that, and then a lot of people toward CGI because it's cheaper too. So, Bob's been caught by this girl's dad now. Bob's going to get fucked up here, man. So he's getting the idea that Bob snuck into the house to get with his daughter and all this shit. And he trips over the lever for the fucking power drill. So now the drill is going. And the dad is very hot-headed, high-tempered right now. So he comes up with the creative idea to stick Bob's head in front of that drill. And we're going to put a nice hole in his head. But the way this effect is executed, though, is done nicely. It really is. Oh, it's about to go in your head, Bob. Shit does look real too, man. Man, he put that shit like right in the side of his temple, plowing that right through the other side of his head. Man, that's such a cool kill scene too. So that's the end of Bob. No more inappropriate Bob. Rest in peace. Okay, so that's what I can live with a mix of both. All right, I got you now. Shit happens, so we all make typos and errors and all that. Greg saying I can handle some CGI, but filmmakers rely on it too much these days. Yeah, it's I think it has a lot to do with cost sometimes, but I don't know. I feel like if I'm a filmmaker and I can't get something done practically, then yeah, that's when I'll probably try to focus on some CGI. But I could never. I don't know. I feel like if I was a filmmaker, I could never just go out of my way to like CGI the shit out of everything. Like what Greg's saying, like the Marvel and DC movies. Now, I feel like most of those like superhero action films, a lot of those films do need like the CGI to pull off the superhero stunts and all that stuff. So most of the time, I think that's usually like where it's more appropriate for movies like that. Even like a lot of like animated kids films and stuff too. But yeah, I definitely agree with you there, Greg.
Find the priest's grave. Cover.
So they got to find the priest's grave, the grave that, or the priest that originally killed himself and hung himself. But they're finally there in Dunwich, the same place where he committed suicide. You'd think they would have had more than just the two of them, some other help. Just Mary, this one random reporter. That's why we're going to have a little bit of help here from the worst doctor in Dunwich. Russell's saying one actor in this had his cock and balls cut off in Cannibal Frogs. Yeah, that's right. That's the guy who played Bob. He gets his fucking. It's funny you mentioned that. No, it's just the one actor had his cock and balls cut off in Cannibal Frogs. It's so true, but I didn't think I'd be getting that comment here tonight. So that was his name, Father Thomas, right? The guy who killed himself, the priest.
For his burial. It's a long story. One you might not want to believe. Try me. I'm just about ready to believe anything at this point. That's the whole story. I got it, man.
And that's why you're here in Dunwich?
Mary and this reporter, they tell him
Death of
the whole situation, what's going on. Town's being overrun by this curse that's been laid out from a priest who committed suicide. Now we're at the scene now with all the maggots flying through the window randomly here as they're trying to figure out what to do. I mean, you see Christopher George, he's got like a cup of whiskey in his hand. You see the maggots in his drink and shit. But they actually, dude, they definitely glued some of these maggots to the actors' faces too. You can see the glue and shit. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Fulci was like, you know what? Like, yeah, we're gonna have a scene where we're just gonna shoot maggots at the actors. I just want to piss these actors off. I don't care if we execute the scene correctly for the movie. I just want to have a scene here to fuck with these actors. Dude, that is a lot of maggots. I mean, between that and the fake shit they have in there, because apparently that is how they did the scene. They did use real maggots and then fake shit like cereal or some shit. But you hear them as they're walking across the floor, all crunching the fucking maggots under the floor. Damn, dude, they're all brushing the shit out of their hair now. Finally, the maggot fucking storm stopped. Oh my god, there's so many maggots on the phone right now as it's ringing. They even got mealworms in there too. Shit, like you feed, like, if you have like rodents as like pets or whatever, mealworms in there. Beastmaster was great too. Greg, I haven't seen that one in a long time. I don't own that. So John, Emily's little brother, has just called the doctor to tell him that Emily has come back from the grave to kill her parents. This scene's kind of fucked up here too, because now John, he's sitting there holding the phone as it's off the hook, and he's in utter shock right now. Just probably good acting from a kid at that age. But apparently, the aftermath of Emily killing her parents, they're like bleeding to death upstairs, but the blood is leaking through the ceiling right now. And it's landing on the dinner table. And of course, it's going in a glass of milk. It looks so gross, though. It's like pink milk now. Oh, that wind's kicking up. Curse is getting worse, right? John's family has officially been wiped out. It's just him on his own now. His sister, his mom, and his dad managed to be wiped out. His whole family got wiped out in like less than 2 days. Russell saying when he saw Phantasm at 15, and when he saw the Hemi Cuda, I said, I want one. And a year later, I bought a 71 Hemi Cuda. That's nice, man. That was probably an awesome fucking car to have. Back when they actually made, like, real muscle cars, like those were, it's like the only time American made cars were actually like, real effective, nice cars. Nowadays, it costs too much money with all that heavy metal pieces and everything. Apparently, it costs too much money to be making muscle cars. But I feel like, if they even brought some of those cars back and tried making them again, I think you would see car sales probably go up in the right direction. But no, let's keep making plastic junk and relying on all the foreigners to make better cars. I mean, it's me personally, I'll drive a Honda over any American-made car. That's for sure. I'll take a Honda, a Nissan, an Acura, anything. Anything that's not American. Yeah, that's right, Greg. Yeah. Greg saying it's sad what happened to Reggie Bannister. Yeah. And he was really like besides the tall man, besides like Angus Scrimm as the tall man, like Reggie Bannister is really like one of the most iconic things about Phantasm, right? But at some point, we're definitely going to be doing it. I know for sure we'll definitely do at least Phantasm if we don't do the second. Like, could probably do Phantasm. Actually, like thinking on it now, we could probably even do like a double feature for Phantasm 1 and 2 some point in the future. But I know I did do a stream. It was on the old channel. It got terminated. It was the 45th anniversary for Phantasm. So that's another one. That's 79 that came out. So in a couple more years, another one will be 50 years old. Like this random Atari style music here, where everything goes to shit again. And we're getting all the stock animal footage again. Remember, we're in the city of Dunwich with baboons and orangutans and all this fucking. That's something no one will ever question, right? The random fucking jungle animal noises going on in the city right now. So yeah, now it's what that doctor and that, I think he's having an inappropriate relationship with her. Oh, she's about to get killed now. So she's supposed to be looking after John since his family's been wiped out. But Emily, she decided she didn't want to stay dead in the grave. So she came back after killing her own parents. Now she's smushing this lady's head. turning her head into fucking SpaghettiOs right now. Like she's having trouble keeping her eyes open there. Emily, you're looking a little ripe. You might want to go back to your coffin. I think after that, John just lost his whole family, and that lady's head got caved in. He's running for the hills now, man. This kid's been through some fucking terrible trauma lately in the past couple of days. Yeah, Russell saying rest in peace, Reggie. First film was Kenny and Company by Don Wright. Yeah. I think 77 that came out. Oh, random zombie jumping down off of the roof here with yellow worms and shit hanging from his face. Which, oh shit, it's Mikel Suave, actually, the other Italian director. Because apparently he started out as an actor in a lot of these Italian horror films, and I guess he worked his way up to the director's seat. But I think him as a director, he did pretty well. He made the 1994 Cemetery Man movie. I know he made another one, 89, The Church, which is more of an atmospheric one, really. More of like a psychological, supernatural, atmospheric Italian horror film. But he also did a giallo slasher, Stage Fright, 1987. That's another good one. And now Emily's stalking John. Why did you gotta rat me out for, John? Why you gotta tell everybody I'm a zombie? Get out of here, John. I'm gonna beat the shit out of your dead sister here. I'll put her in her place. Ew, man, she looks fucking creepy and demented. And then when you see her blink her eyes, that's when you know it's a real actor behind that shit. Yeah, Emily's got to be the fucking creepiest fucking zombie out of all of them, right?
Sure.
Yeah, we called the sheriff. We told the sheriff there's a bunch of blood and guts over here again, just like the first crime scene. And Michael Baldwin was in that too, right?
Oh, let's get going.
And Johnny's here from the Wild Guys. What's up, Johnny? Thanks for stopping by here. We're halfway through this now. Oh yeah. We got about less than 20 minutes left in the movie right now. So my stamp is 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 12 seconds. Yeah, thanks for stopping by and saying hello there, Johnny. Yeah, it's Johnny over at the Wild Guys. We got 4 people in the chat right now. But yeah, another quiet night here on the channel. But other than that, things all good. I'm enjoying this movie. I always enjoy going back and watching this one. This is truly like one of the Fulci films, even with the other ones in the Gates of Hell trilogy. With all 4 of those movies, really. Yeah, throwing in House by the Cemetery, like those are to me like the most rewatchable. I think those films to me from Fulci have the most rewatchable value. That's just my personal opinion, but now what's that movie? What's it called? Like Wax Mask, I think. Have you guys ever seen this movie?
Tell me what's going on. Data.
But apparently this was a film that was supposed to be like a collaboration between Dario Argento and Fulci. But by the time, because I think this movie came out like 97, I think. But by the time this movie was finished, Fulci passed away. He passed away in 96, but yeah, Wax Mask. Highly recommend checking this one out. It's all in Italian, I believe. I don't know if there is an English language for this. I don't think there is. But yeah, really good effects in this one. So yeah, 1997 film Wax Mask. But I believe it was Sergio Stivoletti who's the one who actually took the directing seat on this. But if it wasn't for Dario Argento, this film never would have got finished. So definitely a lot of props to Argento for, going above and beyond and getting this movie finished. Because if it wasn't for him, it just would have been an unfinished movie, and it probably just would have got lost in fucking circulation somewhere out there in the world. But yeah, once we get through like what where we're at in the movie now, more animal sounds in the city, stock animal footage. Here we go again. Even the look on everyone's face is like, you guys scared, or you guys just left with question marks on why you're hearing orangutans and fucking all these animals and shit, baboons and orangutans right now in the cemetery. But no, they're gonna take that lid off of that one tomb there. They're gonna go in. They're gonna go into that crypt. And they're gonna have to fucking battle the priest here at the end.
Guess what?
Oh, Mary's.
It's all
Guess what, everyone? It's All Saints Day. We're hearing all these animal noises. I don't think I ever paid attention to all that background stock animal fucking footage. I guess I probably just pay attention to what's important with these movies. But I never realized, I don't know why. I just never paid attention to all that jungle animal fucking noises. Oh, here goes dead ass fucking Bob. Bob's an official corpse with one eye. Oh, he's gonna go after all the fucking guys at the bar now. All those guys who talked all that shit on him. Emily's there too. Emily's not gonna miss out on this. Hey, that makeup, like it almost looks like as if like someone took a pile of diarrhea and just started throwing it on people. Oh yeah, can't forget about Mikel Suave. He's here. Yeah, God forbid if you might bump into one of the zombies while trying to get away from them, but no, you'll just sit there and get mauled to death by them, right? I think one thing it's like speaking on that is one thing I always find funny in zombies, like the infamous scene with the splinter going in the girl's eye. Like all she has to do is like turn her head out of the way, and she wouldn't have got the splinter in her eye. But the fact that she never turns her head and she willingly takes the splinter in her eye always cracks me up. So now it's taken 3 of them to get the top of this tomb off here. 'Cause they gotta get down there, to save the world, stop this evil priest. But I think, in this movie, people really need eyes in the back of their heads because, you have eyes in the back of your head, you're going to take the chance of a zombie coming up on you and smushing the back of your head. Like, Fulci loves doing that in this movie, right? Having a zombie go up behind someone and just crush the shit out of the back of their skull. I think he knows to be careful there. Fulci and the fucking film crew, they did not skimp on the spider webs, did they? Right? Cobwebs, spider webs all over the fucking place. Russell saying the drill scene, the guy was, yeah, the same actor. I know his name's like Giovanni something. Let me try to pull it up. Not that it, like, it's not like we desperately need the name, but it's kind of bugging me now. Let's see what his name. I know that actor. He passed away too, like a few years ago. But he's not even with us anymore. So they're officially in the crypt now. They went through after all that work they put in there just to get that giant fucking that stone lid off of that crypt so they can get in there. So his name was Giovanni Lombardo. That was the actor's name. But yeah, when did he pass away? He passed away April 27, 2023. He was 68 years old. That's a little young there, man. I think anyone that passes away in their 60s, that's a little too young. Uh, let's see if we can get the closet then. Oh, it's just a bloody rat with rabies infested eyeballs. You know. Speaking of rats, you know what's actually a fun killer rat movie is a movie called Deadly Eyes. You guys you ever hear that one? Deadly Eyes? It's where they take a little dog, dress them up in rat costumes, and that's how they get the effect of giant running rats and all this shit. But yeah, it's the movie's got some moments. It really does, man. But I mean, you guys are diehard horror fans. You're looking for something you've never seen before, and you're looking for the topic of rabies infested rats or whatever, killer rats. Deadly Eyes. Give that one a watch. I think it came out in 1982. I have it on Blu-ray. I can't access it right now, but yeah, I think that's one of the better killer rat movies. Not that there's like a whole good genre of killer rat movies or anything, but that's the only one I've seen with killer rats in it that I thought was, effective and decent for what it is. I think it actually is a Canadian horror movie, but I could be wrong about that. Say all the good boys hang out at the bar every week. They're all dead and gone now. All the good boys are dead and gone. It's evil ass music. Rats never bother. Like I don't know. Dude, like I grew up in the city. Like I mean, I never like lived in a house that was like infested with rats. But like walking in the city, I've had rats like scurry across my feet before. Like rats just don't bother me as long as they're not trying to bite me. I don't give a shit about rats. But some people do have like a genuine like phobia of rats, which is like I guess anything, anything like that. Yeah, it can be scary, but rats don't fucking freak me out like they do to most people. Like even snakes don't freak me out. Like most people are freaked out by snakes. Spiders, I'm not. Those are the things that usually grab my attention and not in a good way. But yeah, spiders do freak me out a little bit more. When it comes to like insects and stuff, it's spiders are usually the ones I'm a bit more worried about. And Christopher George is getting a brain squeezing headache. Yeah, he just had his brain ripped out of the back of his head by the babysitter who's dead and gone. Thanks, courtesy to John John. Oh my God, the rats didn't waste any time, man. They got right in the side of Christopher George's head right there. They're going to eat all of his brains and gain all of his knowledge now. Oh no, Mary's crying blood again. The curse is in full effect. I mean, to get that crying blood effect back then, like, I don't know how they actually did that exactly. But I know from like watching like some of the features and stuff and watching documentaries, just hearing interviews and people talk about these movies. I know for sure that they really did use real animal guts. When the girl and the guy are making out earlier in the movie, she starts vomiting up her guts and everything like that is real animal guts that were apparently cleaned up and shoved into her mouth, and they were just like, all right, roll camera, spit that shit out of your mouth now. They had to kill the babysitter again, because she was human. Now she's a zombie. Greg's saying the thing with cheap CGI, it looks too animated and it doesn't blend in with the natural environment. It looks out of place. Exactly. Yeah. It's so easy to pick that shit out too. You watch enough movies and those type of movies, you'll catch on to it so quickly. It's almost like, like being on like YouTube in the shorts section and watching like AI fucking shorts. Like you're gonna pick up on which ones are and which ones aren't. I guess that's if you have like, good vision, like 20/20 vision or whatever. But I've never had issues with my vision, thank God. This crypt is so demented, end of the world, like so gothic and grim, man. I'd be like walking through here, like I don't want to like get my clothes dirty here, like even though like I get out there, I'm still gonna burn my wardrobe. But I'd be like, I don't want to brush up against this wall and get all these dirty ass cobwebs on. It's just down to them now. Now that Christopher George and his cigars have checked out of the world. Yeah, that's another good one to mention there, Russell. Saying a great drill to the head reminds me of the bandsaw and Intruder. You know what else has a good guess it's like a granite rock cutting saw. What do they use that in? I think that honestly, I think this is Jess Franco's best movie. And to say that, Jess Franco made a lot of bad fucking movies. I think, you guys are familiar with Italian horror. You should realize who Jess Franco is and his style of filmmaking. But I think Bloody Moon, this is best fucking movie. The 1981 Giallo slasher here. But yeah, they do cut off someone's head with a fucking granite fucking, what is that? It's like a wet saw. I don't know. That fucking saw is big as shit, but it is a pretty cool decapitation scene. But I think one of the better things about this movie is the fact that Jess Franco manages to run over a little kid with a car in this movie. It's fucking brutal. But yeah, I really think this is his best movie, though. Bloody Moon. It's a good time. But yeah, Italian horror. Never get enough of Italian horror, man. Thank God for Italian horror. There goes Bob and his knob. Craig. We're coming up on the finale here soon. Now the rest of the corpses in the crypt are coming to hang out. Maybe we'll get Otis Driftwood. Will probably show up here in a minute. Maybe we'll get Chop Top too. Me and my brother, we listen to you every night. And there's the priest. Apparently, all you have to do is rip a cross out of the ground and hit him right in the gut, and all of this shit will come out, and that's it. So the priest, before he does anything, he's got to give her the dead-eye look. And that's what's going to make her cry out blood again. Oh, I see how they do that effect now. They actually, they got, the fake makeup shit going under her eyelid. And, I guess, the fucking tubing that's squirting out the blood's, coming around the sides of her head. Thank God for fucking clarity and Blu-ray, right? You can kind of see these things a little bit better. So yeah, he ends up grabbing that crucifix out of the ground, stabs the priest right in his gut, which ultimately, for some reason, sets him on fire. I guess that's the curse really working in there, right? Getting inside of his guts and burning them up here. But they don't make them like this anymore, right, guys? They don't make them like they used to. But yeah, I'm not 45 years old. I'm 42. But this movie's 45 years old. I would imagine I'm going to be enjoying, movies like City of the Living Dead rest of my life. That's for sure. Because the state of how movies are nowadays, especially even like with horror movies, just don't even know the direction of where movies are even going anymore. But I mean, occasionally we get some good things, you know. Can't say that all new modern movies are shit, you know. We do get some good things every now and then, but not like this anymore. So yeah, it's after they were able to annihilate the priest and then the curse that causes all the other corpses, all the other zombies to go burst up out in the flames, and ultimately everything's just gonna clean itself up here. The curse is just gonna, run its course here and burn out on its own. Oh, there he is. That's it. Priest is the priest has hit the ground. He's done, dead and gone. We got 2 people left in the chat. What's this you're mentioning there, Russell? Don't Kill It with Dolph Lundgren is a brutal film with the kills. I don't know if I've seen that one. Okay, so all right, no, right. Russell was 23 when he got that coup. Okay. All right, so yeah, Russell, you're familiar with Deadly Eyes. It's so funny with the dogs and the rat costumes. Yeah, it's a good one, man. I enjoy that movie though. I like that one. It's like if I think of like that topic of killer rats in movies, like that's the one that comes to mind like right away for me. So yeah, we're coming up on the final scene here. John's so happy to see these 2 total strangers. Oh my god, my family's dead. Can you guys adopt me now? kind of because that's the kind of situation that John's got to live with. But it's one of those endings that you kind of have to just make up what's going on there, I guess. Because John's running at them, then you get her screaming, and the screen just kind of cracks up into like broken glass, and the credits just roll. All right, so yeah, that is Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead, 45 years old today. So yeah, I am officially at the end of the movie now. So we'll hang out here for a few more minutes. Hang out here for like probably another 4 or 5 minutes. Try to take this up for I'll probably take this up to the 2-hour mark exactly. So yeah, we got 2 people left in the chat. We'll get through the rest of these comments here. Yeah, Greg. Yeah, he's saying he hasn't seen Deadly Eyes yet. Give that one a watch, man. I think the Blu-ray is out of print. I think it goes for stupid money, but I know it's available like on Look Movie. It might even be on YouTube. It's probably on Internet Archive too. So I would give it a watch. If you're bored one of these nights in the future here and you're not sure what to watch, try to keep that one on your radar. You'll probably have a good time with it. I know at one point, like, isn't there like a scene in the movie where, like, I think they're at a movie theater and the rats start attacking the people in the movie theater, and everyone starts like trampling each other, like people are getting stomped to death. But yeah, it's a very unique one, that's for sure. Yeah, that's right. Stephen King's Graveyard Shift. That's another one. It's like a bat rat, I guess you could say. It's like a bat with fucking, or it's like yeah, there's like rats in it. You got Brad Dourif playing the fucking rat exterminator, creepy guy or whatever. But man, like, at the end of that movie, I feel like Stephen King's Graveyard Shift really doesn't get enough love or credit. Really, that's a very underrated Stephen King adaptation, in my opinion. I always liked it. I always liked that movie. Growing up with it, like I know, like when I first caught that movie on TV, I really didn't know what to make of it. Like as the years went along, and I caught it on TV more often, started to see the movie more in full and everything. That's when the movie kind of grew on me more. But the atmosphere in that movie and how dirty and grimy and wet and damp that basement is. So I really think the basement in Graveyard Shift is probably one of the most dirtiest looking basements I ever seen in my life. Besides, like, it's not like we get to see the basement in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but like I feel like the basement would look like that in Texas Chainsaw Massacre, like the basement in Graveyard Shift. But yeah, Graveyard Shift is definitely another worthy one that's mentioning that has the involvement of rats. Russell's mentioning the Killer Shrews with James Best had dogs in it. Oh, okay. See, that one I'm not very familiar with. I've heard of it before. Pretty sure I haven't seen that one though. Yeah, Brad Dourif with like his Vietnam fucking vet stories and shit. He's also like chewing like an overload of like chewing tobacco in it too. Okay, Greg. Yeah, I still have the Scream Factory standard Blu-ray for that, but yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kino did release that one with like newer artwork. I think there's like an actual rat on it. Greg saying, as much as people hate the film, I want to see a Maximum Overdrive 4K. I like Maximum Overdrive. I think people that like kind of go into that movie as a first time watch and they're like going on like the hype of it can kind of put people in the wrong direction. I think sometimes that movie gets overhyped in the wrong way. But, obviously that movie just is what it is. It's also Stephen King directing for the first time. Obviously, he had issues with making that movie, really had issues with trying to figure out how to even be a director, I guess. But I think that movie's very fun for what it is, man. I know when I first saw that when I was a kid, I was just getting a kick out of the fact that there was a steamroller going by itself and running over kids on the baseball field. I was like, what the fuck? Like, the steamroller's got a mind of its own and it's running over kids in the baseball field right now. And then the coach getting smoked to death by soda cans from the vending machine. I don't know. I thought that was such a fun idea back then when that movie came out, but I have seen Maximum Overdrive on the big screen before at a horror event, so Greg, that's definitely a movie. At some point, I'm going to do a watch party for. I have done Maximum Overdrive before. That's the older channel or shit got terminated, but yeah, we'll definitely do a watch party for Maximum Overdrive some point. I don't know if those uncut inserts exist anymore, Greg, for Maximum Overdrive, but I agree with you. I would love to see that with the 4K upgrade, full uncut version, because I know apparently even speaking of that scene with the steamroller, apparently there is extended scenes where you actually see more of that kid getting run over on his bike by the steamroller and shit. But I don't think those I don't know for sure. That's another thing. You can never put something in stone because, people say sometimes, "Oh, the elements don't exist anymore." And I don't know where someone gets a negative with elements and all this shit. So I guess we'll see what happens in the future. But I could have swore I remember reading before that those elements, those uncut elements for Maximum Overdrive, I think they got destroyed or were misplaced or something like that. But yeah, I would like to see that, uncut version. That's for sure, though. Shit, that would actually work for a good double feature. Like Russell's mentioning here, Maximum Overdrive and Judgment Night. Two Emilio Estevez movies, too. That's another reason why it would work. But I've never, I don't know, I guess I never put both of those movies in the same conversation before, but now that they're both there in a comment, it makes sense to me. I feel like that could work for a double feature, starting out the feature with Maximum Overdrive and ending it with Judgment Night. I love both of those movies. 5% of hazel. 5% of people have hazel eyes, and I'm one of the 5%. Well, but all right, so we're gonna go ahead and close this one down here now. But So yeah, that is Lucio Fulci's City of the Living Dead at 45 years old today. And yeah, the next time we'll be live here on the channel, it'll be the 40th anniversary for the Return of the Living Dead. And then sometime after that, I'll try to get Cannibal Holocaust put back in place on the schedule. So, but yeah, I just want to thank you all very much for hanging out with me here tonight to watch City of the Living Dead. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you all in the next one, everyone.